A multi-million-dollar deal for hurricane-ravaged Caribbean countries. That's our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Monday, November 13. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Nicole Best. Good evening. The Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB, and the European Investment Bank, the EIB, have set up an emergency post-disaster reconstruction financing initiative to help the region recover from recent hurricanes. Both institutions signed the $24 million agreement in Bonn, Germany on Monday on the sidelines of the UN Climate Change Conference, the COP23. The arrangement will support infrastructure reconstruction projects in the Caribbean in the wake of Hurricanes Irma and Maria. It is an addition to the $120 million Climate Action Framework Loan 2 signed in May this year. CDB President Dr. Warren Smith says the signing is another milestone in the long-standing partnership between the two institutions.
In October this year, as you are well aware, Hurricanes Irma and Maria represented an especially strident wake-up call for the international community as the media broadcasted real-time images of the widespread destruction of critical infrastructure and human suffering visited upon the people of Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla, British Virgin Islands, Dominica, and Turks and Caicos Islands. The urgent need for action on climate change altered the focus of CDB's collaboration with the EIB. We recognized the need for more innovative and effective financing instruments in building the resilience of the region's infrastructure and mitigating the emission of greenhouse gases.
Signing on behalf of the European International Bank was Vice President with responsibility for climate action, Jonathan Taylor. He says the EIB is committed to supporting climate resilience projects in the region.
EIB, as the EU bank, is ready to work with CDB and with all of you to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and support a climate change resilient Caribbean. And to move this important work forward, we're pleased that today, as mentioned, we will also be signing an additional finance package with CDB to tackle post-disaster infrastructure reconstruction in the region.
Eligible investments under the new loan will focus on building back better and integrating climate risk and vulnerability assessments into the projects. CARICOM Chairman, Grenada Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell has welcomed the establishment of the Emergency Post-Disaster Reconstruction Financing Initiative. Dr. Mitchell, who is also chairman of the Caribbean Development Bank, was speaking in Germany at the signing of the initiative. Mitchell says the region welcomes the support of the EIB and the opportunity it provides to promote sustainable development and the use of low-carbon technologies in the pursuit of climate adaptation, improved energy efficiency, and the increased use of renewable energy.
The repercussions of climate-related disasters weigh heavily on development prospects of small island developing states, which all have other inherent vulnerabilities. Strengthening resilience therefore requires significant financial resources, most of which we are not in a position to provide from domestic resources. In this light, we welcome the support from our partners in the international community And today we particularly want to thank the European Investment Bank for the support it has provided over the years to the Caribbean Development Bank to assist borrowing member countries in addressing the challenges of climate change.
Bermuda's Premier David Byrd says he's confident the island's reputation will survive the fallout from the Paradise Papers scandal. And he has insisted that reports of Bermuda's demise are greatly exaggerated. And he called for a chorus of unity in the wake of recent revelations contained in the released documents. Earlier this week, an expert in compliance rules told the Royal Gazette newspaper that the island is up the creek without a paddle after the release of documents from Bermuda-headquartered law firm Appleby. Bermuda has also been labeled a tax haven, but Byrd says he believes his damage control efforts will help to maintain Bermuda's reputation.
The message is getting out. I think that Bermuda is a world-established leader in this space. Bermuda has had leadership in this space, and we will continue to have leadership in this space. It's recognized by such international organizations such as the OECD, and even those elements inside the United Kingdom government that recognize that Bermuda has been leading in this space and is certainly doing what is necessary and required. That is known around the world. We have to remember, people will have political agendas, and the political agendas which people may have are not going to distract us from what is necessary to grow Bermuda's economy and to take into account the changes which are happening in the global economy. But we're going to be ready to meet those because any changes brings opportunity, and that is what this government is focused on. The OECD
St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves has defended his cabinet reshuffle that resulted in his son being named the new finance minister. He said it was important for Camilo Gonsalves to be in place before the presentation of the 2018 budget estimates sometime before the middle of January next year. Speaking on the radio station owned by his ruling Unity Labour Party, Prime Minister Gonsalves said the new minister needed some time to familiarize himself. The younger Gonsalves last week took over the position previously held by his 71-year-old father since 2001. He, along with Agriculture, Forestry, Fisheries and Rural Transformation Minister Saboto Caesar, are seen as the two front-runners to succeed Prime Minister Gonsalves to lead the ULP. Coming up in Caribbean Newsline, Guyana and Brazil to remark, yes, the borders between the two countries. That story and more after the break. Stay with us.
Welcome to the gem of the Caribbean, Antigua and Barbuda.
A warm welcome awaits you at our state-of-the-art V.C. Byrd International Airport.
I must say that Antigua is in wonderful shape. 5 minutes off the boat and we're already in paradise.
Antigua was not that damaged by the storm as much as Barbuda was. The hotels are still open, the beaches are still clean, and the people are still friendly.
With Antigua, it's the people that really await you.
Hurricane Irma may have hit a little bit, but you can't even tell that it was ever here. The beach is wonderful. I'm having a great time.
Everything is just as we remember. No storm damage.
We're here and we're open. And we're better than ever.
I do a lot of destination weddings, and I see weddings that could happen here, and they would be in love with it.
I can't say enough about how in love with Antigua I am.
It is one nation, two islands, and I'm loving it.
Have you or someone you know been diagnosed with diabetes? If so, it is important that you know about Glucerna. Glucerna is a nutritional supplement for people with diabetes and contains Carb Steady, which helps minimize blood sugar spikes. Manage your diabetes with Glucerna. Glucerna, nutrition for people with diabetes, designed for you.
Do you want a real Barbadian experience with peace and tranquility? A home away from home feeling? Come and stay at Best E Villas. We offer 2 amazing locations to choose from, Prospect St. James or Christchurch. Plan a staycation for your anniversary, birthdays, summer or winter breaks, or any special event. Best E Villas is located in close proximity to our lovely beaches. Call us now at 246-425-9751 or visit us at bestevillas.com and make your bookings for the best in villas.
The governments of Guyana and Brazil will this week start the process of remarking the borders between the two countries. Over the weekend, officials from both countries met ahead of the exercise. During the meeting, Guyana's Consul General to Brazil, Shirlene Melville, said the process is a significant step in fortifying the relationship between the two neighbors. The remarking process was started in 1994 but was stalled for years due to funding issues on both sides. Due to the density of the forest in the border region, only 4 marks will be remarked and redone during the 4-day exercise that starts on Thursday. The remainder will be done at a later stage. Commissioner of the Guyana Lands and Surveys Commission, Trevor Benn, says his department and the Guyana Defense Force have dispatched 4 people to facilitate the process. The team will look at the marks, repair and update them for posterity. After the process, a follow-up meeting will be held between the two delegations to discuss the successes and challenges for future planning. Still in Guyana, President David Granger has pledged to implement recommendations of a commission of inquiry that was launched to investigate the living conditions of veterans. He said the plight of veterans has not eluded his government. Granger gave the commitment on Sunday at a remembrance ceremony to honor soldiers who fought and died in the 2 world wars. That event was boycotted by the opposition People's Progressive Party. Last month, the PPP announced that it was launching a period of non-cooperation against the government of Guyana following the president's decision to appoint a chairman of the Elections Commission after rejecting the 18 nominees provided on 3 lists by the opposition leader. The PPP made it clear that while it would still be present in Parliament and on the councils across the country, it will not cooperate with the government on several levels and on various initiatives. Police officers in the Bahamas are now wearing body cameras, and the Police Staff Association believes it will reduce the number of complaints against officers. Lawmen from the Mobile Division are the ones who have been outfitted with the body cams, and the Royal Bahamas Police Force tests the technology for the next several weeks. The move has been welcomed by the Police Staff Association. We get more in this ZNS Network News report.
According to Police Staff Association Chairman Sonny Miller, not only is the force becoming more technologically advanced, but he believes the new device will go a long way in the fight against crime. He also anticipates a reduction of the number of complaints against police officers.
Because in most cases where there are no CCTVs, there will be now. Those officers with the body cam, they will become our CCTV once they're on scene, and they will assist us in solving a whole lot of matters now as well. We expect reduction in complaints made against police officers because the officers know that they're being taped. And speaking with the Commissioner of Police, with these body cams, no officer can tamper with it or can edit it in any way, form, or fashion. So it's really assisting us in many different aspects of it.
Well, as officers have been recorded unfavorably by themselves or by members of the public, Miller hopes confidence can be restored and officers can be reviewed as professionals that he says they are.
With the rollout of the body cam, we know for sure that we will gain some confidence back from members of the public because, like I said, we must remain professional. Of course, you know, everyone makes mistakes, but with the body cam, it's really a reminder. It's like having an alarm clock on you or going to bed with an alarm clock, having to wake you up at 6 o'clock, and that's what the body cam will do in keeping us professional and accountable.
OECS countries are working to save $5 million in annual pharmaceutical procurement. Member states from the sub-regional body met in Martinique last week for the 4th Council of the OECS Health Ministers. Financial savings in the health sector was just one topic raised at the meeting as member countries seek to examine ways to share resources, drive down health costs and improve access to health services for all citizens across the OECS. We get more in this report from our partners at France Caraïbes Broadcast.
À tous nos invités, vous êtes ici chez vous. Au nom du peuple martiniquais, Je vous souhaite la bienvenue.
President of the Territorial Collectivity of Martinique hosted the fourth meeting of the OECS Council of Ministers of Health, which was held for the first time in the presence of Didacus Jules, director.
The OECS Council of Ministers of Health is meeting in Martinique at this time, and it is one of the most dynamic structures of collaboration and collective action within the OECS.
A council that concluded with a final declaration of regional solidarity in which the OECO countries commit to 10 concrete actions, including sharing health human resources, facilitating the group purchase of health equipment and services, develop and implement common policy and legislative approaches to health, share access to specialized services, prepare and respond jointly to health emergencies, a willingness to cooperate expressed from the first day by Alfred Marie Jean, who declared,
On my initiative, the Territorial Collectivity of Martinique approves the financing of a cyclotron and a TIP scan. These tools, dedicated to the early detection of cancer, are also intended to be yours.
The ministers began their stay on Friday with the visit of Martinique University Hospital to meet health professionals and health care facilities in Martinique, a welcome particularly appreciated by the Minister of Health of Grenada, Nicolas Steele, new president of the Ministers' Council.
I truly want to recognize the initiative of your President Marie-Jeanne and the productivity that came out of that initiative. Sitting over the last couple of days with Mr. Corral and other members of your team, which in fact no longer your team, other members of our collective team, of CARFA, of OECS, together to speak to the health challenges specifically of the region. But I cannot underscore the tremendous benefits that we will all be reaping as a result of the initiative of President Marie-Jeanne to bring us closer together politically.
We thank our partners at France Carré Broadcast, and we encourage you to join us on Monday for news from our partners at in the French Caribbean. And ahead in Newsline Sport, Trinidad and Tobago Red Force secure their first win in the regional 4-day championship. Stay with us. Sport is next.
In a place where legends start, the beach is just the beginning. So live a little for the exhilaration and the color of every moment, where time is and life is a spirited event. Immerse yourself in the culture, the music, the people, the island. Love Antigua and Barbuda. Embrace an experience that leaves you breathless, from cricket to sailing week to carnival and more. Antigua and Barbuda, the beach is just the beginning.
Have you or someone you know been diagnosed with diabetes? If so, it is important that you know about Glucerna. Glucerna is a nutritional supplement for people with diabetes and contains Carb Steady, which helps minimize blood sugar spikes. Manage your diabetes with Glucerna. Glucerna, nutrition for people with diabetes, designed for you.
Devon Smith hit his second 100 of the season and achieved the rare feat of carrying his bat, but he failed to save Windward Islands Volcanoes from a 10-wicket defeat against Trinidad and Tobago Red Force in the regional 4-day championship on Saturday. The former West Indies batsman was undefeated on 119, his 31st first-class 100, as the Volcanoes were bowled out for 259 in their second innings. Smith smashed 13 fours and 1 6 from 240 balls in close to 5.5 hours of batting, sharing half-century stands with Terry Gabriel for the 3rd wicket and Shane Shillingford for the 8th wicket to beef up the Volcanoes' total. Shillingford made 52, Gabriel scored 25 and Kavim Harj added 20 as the visitors' batting was undermined by left-arm fast-medium bowler Daniel Sinclair with 4 for 29 from 13 overs and leg spinner Imran Khan with 4 for 67 from 22.2 overs. Needing 24 for victory, Red Force knocked them off with little trouble just prior to scheduled close, with West Indies batsman Kyle Hope not out on 17 and left-handed opener Amir Jangu not out on 1. The result was the first victory of the season for the Red Force, giving them 22 points, and was the second straight loss for Volcanoes, whose efforts only fetched them 5 points. Meanwhile, veteran former West Indies left-hander Shivnarine Chandapal carved out a phenomenal 77th first-class 100 and passed 27,000 career runs as he rescued Guyana Jaguars and forced a draw against Leeward Islands Hurricanes. Starting the day on 53 for 2, still requiring 153 runs to avoid an innings defeat, Jaguars found a hero in the 43-year-old Chandapal, who hit a stellar 109 as the visitors rallied to 305 for 7 deep into the final session to frustrate the hosts. Wicketkeeper Anthony Bramble chimed in with an unbeaten 57. Captain Leon Johnson got 41 and fellow left-hander Vishal Singh 35. Off-spinner Terence Ward with 2 for 43 and leg spinner Bonner for 2 for 52. Both finished with 2 wickets apiece, but Hurricanes failed to conjure up that incisive spell to hurt Jaguars. Switching sports now, incumbent president of the Cayman Islands Football Association, Lee Ramon, is making a bid to be re-elected to head the organization with the aim of cleaning up the mess left by his predecessors. CIFA has been mired in controversy since the arrest of former President Jeffrey Webb in the FIFA scandal and the revelations during the recent corruption trial of former treasurer Canova Watson. Ramon has been in the helm since May 2016 and is now seeking a full term as the football body heads into its internal elections next week. Cayman 27's Jordan Aminis tells us more.
The way forward together. That's the vision of CIFA's incumbent president, Lee Ramon, as he seeks election for a full term.
When I came in, the place was very chaotic with all of the scandals that took place with the past president and the past treasurer. So that alone in itself was cleaning up that mess.
Armed with a personal manifesto, Ramon says a vote for his competitors would be a step backwards for the sport.
Mr. Moxon was an employee who was appointed by Mr. Webb. Mr. Alfredo Whitaker was also under the old regime with Mr. Webb as well.
Most recently, Ramon signed off on the inclusion of the under-20s in the Premier League, which he says will pay off in the end.
So come January, March, when qualifications start, they have a lot of games under their belt, and collectively they're learning and also improving.
As for preventing future fraudulent activity, Ramon says they followed FIFA regulations and are on track for full funding.
A lot of those milestones in regards to proper management systems, the transparency, more than one person signing on checks and invoices. Fraud cannot happen within CIFA again as a result of these mechanisms are in place.
The league has also been scrutinized for its limited presence in the digital world, lacking a website for fans and players to follow. Ramon says that's changing as well.
We just partnered with Sports Engine, which is a U.S. company that deals with sporting website participation, the fans, clubs, players, everything is live.
And come November 18th, Ramon hopes the CIFA members will come alive in their support of his unified vision.
Still in football, the Spice Boys managed to pull off a 2-all draw against regional football giants Trinidad and Tobago in an international friendly match over the weekend. Kent Fuentes of C Sports took in the action at the Otto Bolden Stadium in Couva and filed this report.
Warriors came up against their Grenadian counterpart, and were it not for the alertness of the visitors' custodian, Akeem Roach would have been in on goal for the Warriors. Captain Kevin Molino then had a great chance to give the Warriors the lead, but his shot went wide off the post. Molino again was unlucky as he slid in at the back post, but did not get the much-needed touch to send the ball into the net. Their opponents were on the attack, and it was Cairo Mitchell that came close on this occasion. His shot inches away from giving his team the lead. Attacking the flanks, the Warriors found an avenue to cause problems for their Caribbean neighbors, as the Grenadian defense kept out this Molino goal-bound effort. Goalless at the half. At the restart, the Grenadians stunned the small crowd at the Otto Bolden Stadium. The quick counter-attack finished off by Shadam Batiste in the 48th minute, despite the best efforts of Adrian Fonset in the Warriors' goal. The Warriors looked to respond, but Levi Garcia's shot was nowhere on target. Grenadian grew in confidence and could have had a second here. And they had to be alert on the defensive end to deny Roach a chance to equalize for the Warriors. Molino then had a brilliant chance, but was denied by the crossbar. The Warriors were creating a host of chances, but just could not put the ball in the back of the net. It was end-to-end action as the Grenadians too looked for a second goal. And they found that goal off the corner. Ricky Modeste got the touch to send the ball into the goal in the 71st minute. 2-0 Grenada. They had a chance for a third, but could not hit the target. But it was the Warriors that struck next. Jamil Boatswain received the ball from Curtis Gonzalez and drilled a low shot past the Grenadian keeper in the 88th minute. 2-1 Grenada. And the Warriors' fighting spirit came to the fore and added on time. Gonzalez once again played a beautiful ball for his captain Molino, and he did the rest to help the Warriors come from behind to draw the game at 2-all, which is how it stayed at the end of the international friendly.
And that's the sport. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
So how did that feel coming here? Because that was your
I
purpose
felt like
anyway.
there was some pressure because I was like, oh my God, I'm being noticed. And then I really got noticed once I kept hanging around like up and coming artists.
Yeah.
So one up and coming artist I was around a lot was Zoe Dollars.
Yeah.
And I ended up being in the Blow a Check video.
Nice.
Yeah. So from
What did you
that,
do?
I was just throwing the dollars at the camera, throwing that money out, blowing a check on TV. And so from that video.
Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and CaribVision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today. Again, the major developments of this day: the Caribbean Development Bank and the European Investment Bank set up an emergency post-disaster reconstruction financing initiative to help the region recover from recent hurricanes. And in sport, Trinidad and Tobago Red Force secured their first win in the regional 4-day championship. That's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sport around the clock, log on to KarnaNews.com. We'll be back here again tomorrow. But from all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching and do have yourselves a good night.